Hello, everyone. Today, my guest is Ionut Georgescu. He's a GM of BCCSU Sibiu in Romania and also an alumni of the EuroLeague Basketball Institute. Hello, Ionut.
Hello, Vlad. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. For those that don't know us, Ionut and I go way back. We've worked in Romanian basketball for quite a long time. He's been a GM of quite successful teams in Romania, like Asisov Ploiești, who played in Eurocup. Steaua Bucharest, who played in Eurocup as well, and I played national championship Romania finals against him a few years ago. And yeah, we've
not the best memories for me.
not the best memories for some of us. Yeah, he's been in basketball probably as long as I've been in basketball. We're close in age.
So we are actually the same age. We are sharing the beautiful year 1988, so it was a good year.
Hey, let's not say my age now, okay? Okay, so now, Ionut, we'll start with the hot topic right now, which is, of course, is the virus and how teams are dealing with it back in Europe. I just got back from Europe a few weeks ago, as the Greek league they got postponed, then got canceled. So can you tell me how is the current period affecting your team, affecting your the future of your team?
So first of all, I'm very happy that you are now home with your family because we are living crazy times. We also sent our American players back home. They wanted to be with their families and they left just in time. We only had only one problem with a change of flight for one American player who was flying to JFK, and they just canceled that flight and they moved him to Atlanta and then to Las Vegas. Besides that, everybody got home safe, and that was the most important thing for us. After the pandemic was stated on March 11, on March 16, it's March 16, and it looks like months ago because we are in our homes for already a few weeks. So on March 16, the Romanian government and Romania president stated emergency situation, state of emergency, which actually meant that all the events, cultural, religious, sports were forbidden, were cancelled. At this moment, our league is not cancelled; it's just suspended. Initially, it was until 31 of March, but now with this state of emergency, it's clear that the term will be also postponed. We would wait until mid of April, most probably, and then to make a final decision. At least this is the current situation right now. That can be changed because things are changing day by day. We are just observing what's the situation all around Europe, all around the world, and the authorities are trying to take new measures in order to stop this virus, to try to put us in a safe situation. So also the sports clubs were affected by this in many ways. First of all, it was clear that our main priority needed to be the health of our players, of our staff, of our fans, of our partners. So when this happened, we took the necessary measures. We stopped practice. Then we gave, of course, the right instructions for everybody that need to be followed, considering the hygiene. And I think I didn't have in my life such hands, clean hands, like crystal clear. In Romania right now, all the teams try to send the players home. There were some ugly situations with Serbian players who just passed the border, and they were sent to quarantine for 28 days. Uh, they spent for the first days in some tent close to the border with poor food conditions, poor conditions overall. Then the citizens from Montenegro were not. They didn't allow them to go to their country, so they are stuck here. Uzi Baro, your former teammate, is still in Romania because first his flight got cancelled, then he changed the flight, but then the airport closed in his country. So basically, he's still in Romania. He doesn't know when he will be able to fly again to his home country. Yeah. So in the meantime, okay, the Romanian players left also to their homes to stay with their family. We are all isolated. We are trying to to minimize the socialization and to keep the distance. Um, but it's tough. We are just watching the news. So Romania already is getting prepared for the fourth stage, which means over 2,000 confirmed cases. And we'll see what kind of measures the authorities will take at that point.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very difficult situation. I was in it in Greece when I decided to leave. It was kind of the league was only postponed at that point, but I had talked to everybody and told them that I'm leaving. But at that point, I think I reacted as a husband and a father, and I did not think as a basketball player anymore. I thought it was. I know the contract situations are or could be ugly in the future. These disputes that probably FIBA's going to have to solve. But um, you know, is there a case like this? I just hope that the president, the owners, and the players, they're gonna find a way to solve all this. But I guess that we'll see that down the road. So, but moving on to the good times, let's say, when everybody was able to work and do what we love. Um, can you talk to me a little bit about the youth academy you guys have in Sibiu? And I know you guys invested a lot, especially this past year, in developing this academy. I know you guys brought some even foreign coaches to kind of coach your coaches. And could you talk to me about your plans, let's say at the beginning of the year, and how you see those things evolve for the Sibiu, the junior programs?
So yeah, definitely we are thinking about our future, and also we are trying to enhance the local pride because our fans and everybody would like to see more and more good Romanian players playing for Romanian clubs. And
Let me stop you right there. When you talk about your fans, I don't think a lot of people know, and unless you're from Romania or unless you're from the area, Sibiu plays with a sold out crowd every game. Their fans sing and dance all game long. It's a beautiful atmosphere to play, and I played against them a few times, and also I played for the Romanian national team in Sibiu. So with the crowd behind me, and it really it helps you. It gives you an extra boost. It's a six man, right? So
yeah,
a short parentheses for the people that don't understand how much basketball is loved in Sibiu.
our fans are absolutely amazing. They are also twice Guinness World Records with the largest magazine in the world last year, GSU Fans magazine, number 200, magazine where many famous basketball players all around Europe and amazing, great coaches like Sargunas Jasikevicius, and we got also support from the EuroLeague. But also back in the days in 2007 when Sibiu fans played the longest basketball game ever, 82 hours. So it was some amazing accomplishment that they realized they made outside of the basketball court, outside of the basketball stands actually. So yeah, we have like 1,500 season ticket holders, which is a record for Romanian basketball, and we are on top on the sports in Romania among the big football clubs. Definitely, they would love to see great Romanian players wearing CSU jersey. Like I think this is a common case all around the league. The fans would like to see the local heroes, the local boys, going big, going in a senior team, and helping their club to achieve great results. In this moment, we are coordinating system with 100 around 160 kids. We named Goran Vrkic as a coordinator coach. He's a coach with a great experience in Romania and also abroad. He is mentoring our Romanian coaches, which is great because they have a lot to learn from him. Um, and we are moving on to develop our youth academy by uh, on and off the court. For us, it's very important to be a pillar for the education system, for the health system, because Vlad, we are talking about the future, and just we need to understand that we need to move in a sports business direction where sports will mean more than sports, and will be relevant for everybody, for the community, for the sponsors, for the municipalities, and we can do that by helping the next generations to get a better education, to be prepared, taking the values of sports in their backpacks and um, having those for their entire life. You know very well how much sports gave you as an athlete, but also as a person, and how much helped you. So our mission shouldn't stay only on the basketball court, should go in the classrooms. Our kids are working with the sports psychologist, with a nutritionist. So we are taking actually small big steps in
Big
the normal direction, and I'm very happy that it's not only about not only us doing this. Also in Cluj, this is happening at a very very high level. Also Oradea, also in Bucharest, there are many big clubs actually. Bucharest and Cluj are the main youth centers of Romania, and we are trying to grow organic into that direction in the next year. Hopefully we'll have the resources and the people, when I say people, I'm thinking about also companies and municipality will understand the role of sports, but we need to show that these kids will become better persons. We will be a support for the parents, we will be a support for the teachers, and we will be relevant. We will not just this is great that the kids are enjoying to play, and they are getting healthy education. They are healthy, they are growing up nicely, but we need to do more, because this is the power of sport, and we need to understand it, and then we need to manage it. I'm sure that we can learn a lot from what's going on in in the countries with a different basketball culture. I'm happy that we are getting connected with many other specialists from Serbia, from Hungary, from Spain, and we are also growing our own personnel to become more professional and um, more with more attention to details.
Yes, some of these prospects we talked about, I think from what you know me, I went to college in the U.S. I chose that route instead of going to a bigger European club, develop there, and kind of figure out what to do 18. I always thought that off the court should be as important as on the court, and I think European teams are just starting to realize that in some ways, as far as the kids' education, because not everybody's going to become a professional basketball player, and not everybody's going to make a lot of money doing this. So I think what you guys are doing, off the court, focusing on their education, also nutrition, mental health, which is I think it's a big issue right now. I think that's great. I think it has to be done. And one thing that I've always what I would have liked to see in Europe, and one thing that I would like to see in the US, kind of like a mix of the both, because initially I was like, oh, US is like they have the path down, and now it's like they kind of lost it with all this AU stuff. And I think the juniors develop better in Europe, for example, right now. I think the case was different maybe 15 years ago. But what I see now is the problem starts like 18, 19, where I see a lot of kids kind of quit basketball because they can't go play on a pro team. And they're a little bit lost. So I would like to create a connection somehow between the junior academies in Europe and some of the colleges in the US. There's so many US colleges looking for European players, and there's a lot of, for example, basketball agents that charge kids, to take them to the US, and I feel like it will be a much easier route to just kind of partner up these academies in Europe with some of the colleges in the US. Kind of make that connection, make that bridge, and smoother for some of the guys that are very smart, they're brilliant, and maybe they're not so talented at basketball that they can play on a professional level. So that's something that I would like to see one day, and I don't know, maybe it's something I can help with one day. Who knows? But to continue this path from the academy to pros. Well, there's two questions, but let's start with the first one. So, what do you look for? Let's say you have a prospect at 18 years old. Okay, we're not going to talk about the Luka Doncic right now, right? We're talking about prospect from the junior team that can or should make the step up to the senior team. What is a general manager? What is a coach? What do they look for in players at that age?
Okay, so in Romania, first of all, things are a little bit different. We have a huge gap between 14 and 18 years old. That's why we need to grow in this direction, and in the same time, we need to be responsible in front of these kids and in front of their families, and not to let them to put school on the second stage. They need to keep the balance like you did. That's why when you were in the States, you were a student athlete, not an athlete student, and we need to do the same in Romania and in many other countries in Europe, but especially in the Balkan area. The kids are obliged to choose between sports and school, which is a huge mistake because you don't know. There are so many question marks over over the career, if they will have a career in the professional level, for how long, for how much money, and anyway, when it's over, you need to be prepared for a plan B, which you cannot have it if you don't have the proper education. Or the plan B, you'll say, yes, I will be a coach or referee, or I will make my own basketball school. In the same time, if you don't know how to calculate the VAT and you don't know how to manage a small company, you have very small chances to be successful in that too. However, when we are looking to the young players, definitely I want to see those with a PhD, like Rick Pitino was saying, PhD, like to be passionate, hungry, and driven. So this is the most important thing. I want to see kids who are hungry to prove themselves, to learn, not to understand that this is only a step that they are taking in the right direction, and to work every single day to become students of the game. Because now these generations, they have such great opportunities to get the information, to gather it, and to do something. You just need to be to pay attention, to look for the right stuff on the internet. So that's why we need to learn our kids to use the technology correctly, and for their own good, not to only spend time on Netflix or on social media. Um, so I want to see kids who are very motivated, to learn and to come and to have a foundation when they are called to come to practice with the senior team. They need to know the basic stuff so they can fit into a professional system, because the senior coach has a lot of pressure, and not so many are trying to focus on the next big project, like it happened with Luka Doncic, who was clear a huge talent. But I believe that Pablo Lasso role cannot be forgotten. So um, I would love to see kids with some abilities that they kids who are able to help the team in different way, and to have a base, to have some certain qualities able to provide them a basic skill set. I think this is important, and this should be the role of the youth coaches. They need to help the kids to take this leap to the senior level, and then, of course, when in your case you were in college in the States, but after that you came and to play pros. You need to find your place, and you need to work every single day so you can be able to compete against much older players with another level of experience, and coaches who are not willing to give you a lot of time, or maybe a lot of credit. You need to go and take it. So I want to see smart kids. I want to see kids good in communication. I think to learn the kids to communicate is such an important thing, because once they go to a senior team, if they are not able to communicate with their teammates, with the assistant coach, with the condition trainer, they will have tougher mission in front of them. They will most of them will be under such a big pressure. They will not know how to handle it. If they know how to communicate with the people around them, then we are there to help them too, because I believe when you recruit a kid, he is a project, and you are thinking about not how he's playing in the present, but how he will play in the next 2, 3, 4 years. Then you can have some higher expectations from this player. So to recap, I would like to see kids who are smart, know how to communicate, and have uh, a base to have some clear fundamentals that will help them to compete in a senior team.
Yeah, one thing I noticed the last 9 years in Europe is the fact that a lot of the kids, they just don't pay attention to detail, right? And a lot of coaches don't like to repeat themselves, and a lot of the young kids, they just kind of tend to blow off the drill by just not paying attention to the instruction. Hey, we have to do this and this. They kind of don't pay attention, and then they just make mental mistakes. That's when the coaches get frustrated, and I noticed that a lot. And I thought that was a huge thing as far as the young kid. Going to senior practice, you really have to be focused. You have to be sharp. And just do your best. Nobody expects you to hold your own against a 32, 33-year-old that's played a certain level, or maybe some foreign guy that's in his prime, right? But a lot of these kids, they come in, it's like they just make mental mistakes, which kind of get sometimes they get the older players angry, sometimes they get the coaches angry and frustrated, and they kind of take themselves out of the practice because the coach doesn't want that in, right? So you're playing 5-on-5 and kid doesn't get it, and you tell them once, you tell them twice, and they just do the same thing over and over again. I've noticed a lot of coaches like, okay, you got to come out, and then they might wait another month until they get a chance, and they kind of get impatient. And it's a process. It's a very can be a rewarding process, but it can be a long process too for some of these kids. And talking about the process and how this will go, can you talk to me about the rookies? How about the NCAA rookies that you take compared to a prospect? What do you think about these rookies? Like as far as expectations, um, because I know a lot of coaches in Greece, for example, or there's even some other countries, they're reluctant to take a rookie. You know, they're like, I don't. They kind of pass on rookies. They have a stigma. I don't know what a stigma is. To me, I don't think basketball is that different. But I think coaches and GMs and scouters, they think that it is. So I was just wondering what is the approach when you guys are looking at a rookie or to sign a rookie out of the NCAA?
Yeah, so definitely I agree with what you were saying about the players being sharp and paying attention. I think everybody should pay their fees, like focus, effort, and energy every single day when they get there on the basketball court. When it comes to scout young players or players for the senior team, uh, yeah, it's clear that there are many coaches and many clubs who are not willing to take more than, let's say, one or two rookies. They say, okay, maximum one. It should be all right. It depends also of the possibilities to recruit from the college area. And that's why I would like to introduce you to our scouting system and how we are doing the recruiting when it comes to build a team. So first of all, I'm working with the coaches, with the head coach to set some criteria about how we want the team to be in the next season. Yeah, we are also writing our goals, also our attributes, and then we know some specific things like we have the Romanian under 23 rule. Yes, that we need to use under 23 Romanian for the first half, and then we should have a Romanian player on the court. So I think in any league, teams are looking first how to cover how to cover these situations, this how to respect these rules and to be able to play to have the best local players, okay, for these criteria. Then of course we have limit for the foreign players, how many foreigners we can have. In Romania is 6. Good. And then yes, we are trying to build a team to name for each profile some characteristics. That will be about his physical qualities, his age, his defense, offense, personality, off the court stuff, experience in winning.
Experience. So
Yes, in winning. But now it depends. It depends again. For example, we use to scout players. We use a lot of platforms for scouting. Scouting for You, Synergy, and Instat. Okay, we are trying to have as many contacts as possible from the states too, from the college coaches, because you cannot rely on only on what some agent will say about his clients. I don't think they are, they, especially, okay, Romania is not let's say, not a country with a big basketball tradition. So really, I'm sick of this, of some agents who will name, hey, this is the next Kyle Hines, this is the next Mike James. There's some cliches that I hate it, and or things like this guy will kill the Romanian league. So yeah, I don't buy that. So I prefer to do the things in the right way. So after we have these clips from the scouting platforms, then I like to watch full games, especially to observe also the body language, also how the players is responding during the timeout. When it comes to stats, I like to see the stats in a different way. I'm not looking so much on the average stats, like season stats. I'm trying to take a look on stats against good teams, stats away games, stats for the fourth quarter. I would like to analyze the ups and downs of a player during the season, especially, for example, how he will react after in 2 games he will shoot 1 out of 10. To see the next game. I'm looking for a shooter, I want to see how he will shoot in the third game or in the fourth game. Um, Good. Then I like to watch a lot of videos, especially from the college players. I have a lot of interviews, a lot of videos posted on the social media accounts of their teams, to see him if he gets involved in charity stuff, in community activities. I also take a look on his social media accounts, to see what he's posting, how he's acting. I think you can take some things also out of this. Then is the time to call like everybody about a single player. You'll call scouters, you'll call of course his coaches, you'll call coaches from the same conference that can tell things about the guy. If he played in a summer league or in a camp, then you will call the guy who organized the camp and you will ask for information. So I think calling and gathering information from as many peers possible, it's absolutely necessary. Then, of course, if we are getting closer, we are asking from the agent the permission to call the player, and it's a long conversation about him and about us, because my idea is to create a win-win situation. I don't think that, first of all, I don't like players without goals. I don't want somebody to choose our team, um, because this is his one of his options. I want somebody who is aiming high. Romania can be I would prefer to be named a trampoline for a higher stage than a cemetery, or a holiday, or a paid holiday for 9-10 months.
But that
So
comes again. That comes with the age of the player you sign. I think that's why.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Like, for
So
example, if
yeah,
I had a lower budget team,
yeah.
not Romania, let's say a lower league or something, I would look harder at rookies. I would try to find ways to get, like you said, hungry rookies, uh, but smart, that are ready to play, because it can be a way to succeed. Because of experience, I think those goals can change, um, and different things can show up, as you know. Just it's different as you age as a basketball player. It depends on the goal. So I think what you guys are doing is very good to do all your due diligence as far as the background. But sometimes from what I've my experience and what I've talked to other players, that final conversation you're talking about, sometimes that's the one that can make or break the deal,
Mhm.
between somebody from the club and the player. Just it can be overwhelming. I've had that with
My record is recent, like 1 hour and 58 minutes. The first phone call. Yeah,
no,
and
not
that's
time
why we
wise.
are
It
getting
can be overwhelming, like
we, we are
information
getting
wise.
in trouble with the wives, because we are not talking to them as much as we are talking with the players during the summer,
So
for sure.
that means you really wanted that player. It's like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So those are the signs that they're there, and I think you guys are doing a good job with that. Since not everybody can can be Panathinaikos, Real Madrid, and Barcelona, where
No, but
they pick the name and that's it.
yeah, but leagues around us, quite the same level, let's say financially, to are doing a great job recruiting rookies, like Hungary, like Finland, Belgium is doing a good job with that too. I will tell you um one funny story actually. So when I was in Asesoft, and because of a rookie player, we got in a big conflict with with some agency, because we almost signed a deal for Patrick Miller from Tennessee, and he went to Besiktas. Yeah, so it was a great option, but we know that the deal is sealed, and we are very happy for having him for his rookie year. Uh, and I remember that because of that, we we cut the connection with the agent for a while. But we were happy to see that Patrick Miller developed into a great player, playing very good and at a very high level in
So
Europe.
you're happy. That kind of like just kind of like restated like your passion for the game, and they have an eye for it, right? It's like, hey,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have a good
yeah,
eye for this thing. It's like this rookie's that good. I can
yeah.
see.
Or I remember that we were getting very close with Justin Cobbs after he finished UCLA, and then Memphis called him for the summer, and the deal was off, and his next destination was Spain for Laboral Cucha. So yeah, it goes up to how. How good you are studying the college basketball. This year in Sibiu, we had one rookie player, Jordan Chapman from Boston College. He was a part of a team who sent two players to the NBA. His former teammates. He was the third guy in that team for the both previous years. And yeah, he did good. He's a very good shooter, I hope. And I was very happy to see him, how he came to Europe. He embraced this opportunity, and he had a baby here in Romania, and yeah, then now he returned home, and about our season, we don't know what will be. There are really small chances that we'll be able to wrap it up this 2019-2020 season. But it's a pity. It's a pity, especially considering that we were in the middle of a process. We hired the conditioning coach from Spain to prepare us for the playoff, and now the guys, for sure, they're pissed off because there are 6 weeks of hard work, in order to
Going
get
out
ready.
the window. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's it was for nothing. Yeah, but about rookie players, I'm into this. I like to watch college basketball more than NBA for sure. I think it's really exciting, and there are some um, there are some diamonds that you can find, even to bring in to bring to Europe, to bring to the Romanian league, and to give them a shot. And I think that what we are missing is sending coaches, more coaches, more managers in the United States in the summer, to create these contacts, not for the showcase, but mostly to create the right contacts, because this is a very important thing, to know who to call when you want to get the right information over a play about a player. So we are
Absolutely.
missing this. While in Finland, I know from Jukka Tojala, my former coach in Steaua, and now the national team coach of Estonia. In From Finland, they are going like every single summer, 7 coaches, 7 GMs. They're going there, getting. So that's why they are better in recruiting. And in Romania, I'm not happy with the fact that um, we are seeing many old faces, like players who are coming here, and they are here like for forever. I don't say this is a bad thing, but I say that the market, it's so broad, it's so big. We just need to work hard and in recruiting, and for sure we can bring more quality, and we will create a win-win situation, because also the money you are paying for a young player coming out of college is less than an experienced player with many seasons in Romania or in Europe will ask for. So we must look for the win-win situation in any case.
Yeah, I totally agree with you right there. And to continue on this scouting area, you recently took a job with Betis Sevilla, from what I understand, as the Eastern European scout for them and for their youth programs. Is that correct?
Yes, I bring also my hat for you
There
for
you go.
this, you know. So
That's the one. That's the one right there.
yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to scout after we finish the podcast. Yeah, so I'm very happy for this opportunity, not only for myself, but I believe that we just open a door for Romanian basketball, for the young players, a door that goes to a to a great league, to a great system, the Spanish system, and to a very well organized club when it comes about
It
developing.
goes back to what we were talking about earlier, right? About the youth programs and what options there are in Romania right now. When we talked about Spain and some of the programs there. When you say Betis Sevilla, you say Tomas Satoransky, you say Christos Porzingis,
Yeah,
right? So it's a whole different world. If when we talk about Betis and what opportunity this can be for some of the not only Romanian kids, right, where you have exclusivity, right, but
yes,
maybe over Eastern Europe, right, where some of these kids have a chance right now to be seen by Betis, and they have a direct contact, with somebody that's involved in Eastern European basketball with a background like yours. So I think this is a great opportunity, and I think that going forward for you, this will definitely pay off, not only for you but also for kids in Romania. Just in the
yeah.
next few years, as you keep scouting and you start developing the network for those 14, 15-year olds, 16-year olds.
Yeah, because for example, Emi Katse, who's playing now in Murcia, and he's a Romanian player raised by Real Madrid system, and he also played for Betis for one season. You know, he had an amazing opportunity, but it was a rare case. It was just like, okay, he got lucky. You know, they saw him, they recruit him, they brought him there, and that was all. But now it's not about luck. We are observing the market. We already have a database with the most talented players, or players with big potential, especially when we're talking about height. They are looking for top players in Andalusia.
That's
They
what I
can
was going to
find.
say. So, what are some of the things that you are looking for right now? Because, okay, in the US, you see all this magazines or this social media accounts. They hype everybody, right? So you have one crazy dunk, and he's say 2 meters, so like 6'7", 6'8". Oh wow, he can do this, he can do that, and but as a scout for a renowned European club, so what are some of the things that you look at? Let's say by age, right? 14, 15. What are some of the things that are very important at that age to have? Okay, other than we're talking about talent, right? Raw talent. That's like Luka Doncic or Porzingis. I think that's raw talent. That's Porzingis height plus talent. So
Yeah.
just for other kids, parents, and coaches around that are listening right now, from Europe and the US or anywhere in the world, what are some of the things that you are looking for?
So I had two visits there already, and I met the coaches because I wanted understand the system and what they are looking for. It's first of all, of course, I can look for whatever I want, but it's most important to look on what they want to get. Their international group developed nicely in the last years. In this moment, they have um, they have around 12 international players from China, from France, from Portugal, from Denmark, from Ukraine, from Africa, and how those kids are seen as main projects of the club. For me, that was the thing that gave me the confidence that I can trust a program like this, and I can recommend it to our kids and to their families or to the Romanian coaches over here.
What
Because
you said earlier, right? Remember when you talk about the prospect that comes at 18, what do you expect from him as a GM of a senior team? And now you're telling me that Betis is doing what you were talking about, building that base for them, having them the fundamentals, and having everything that they need when they get to the senior level. Maybe some of them will play right away, some of them are not, but they will be ready.
they will be, because for example, the assistant coach from Betis, Mr. Javier Carrasco, he's working with the youth coaches, and he's observing the development of the young players. Some of them are called for the preseason camp. Some of them are called from the under 18 and the EBA, the fourth division in Spain. Yes, they are called to practice with the senior team when there are injuries, or when they want to try different things.
So the senior coaches they always have an eye
Yes,
on
always.
the younger kids, and always keep in touch with the youth coaches, correct?
Exactly. What I was overwhelmed was exactly about how much they are paying attention to the details and how they are working. When I went there first time, I wanted to see everything. So I also went to an individual practice at 7 a.m. and there were two kids and five coaches. Five coaches, they were working in some drills. They were using also the home court app to get numbers, to analyze the stats, and to gather the information and the analytics um, for their monthly reports. And
So
they
every player on top of the
yeah.
team practices, they have the individual practices and individual goals and individual targets they have to reach every month, right?
Exactly, and the club sends reports to the kids, to their agents, to the mother club, yeah, from their countries. So they are getting updates about the development and how the kids are doing. Uh, Also on the sports area, but also academic, because the kids are in the same campus. They have teachers who are coming to do the homework with them. They have tutors who are helping them um, to they're helping them with Spanish, with the language, yes, and just to integrate in a new environment.
Yeah, so
So
they arrange everything around them so that the
yeah,
transition is easier and that they're prepared for, let's say, every obstacle that is thrown at them in a new country by themselves, right, in a new um, home, let's say, right, in rooms or however they're set up right there, right, apartments
they
or
have a campus. They have a campus now. They are building a new one, because Real Betis Baloncesto is under the umbrella of the football club, and now Betis Football Club is building in Betis City, with courts, with yeah, with a big campus, with cafeteria, with everything you can imagine. They want to make it. One of the better in Europe. So just to finish my story, at the end of that individual workout, I observed that all these seven guys, five coaches and two players, were were completely tired because they were working from the first second to the last moment together. Like one coach was with a camera, and he was filming everything. The other were making screens, pass the ball, help the players to prepare everything in game conditions. This was the main difference. What I observed, everything was happening in under game conditions, which was great. Was something that I unfortunately I didn't see often in Romania.
Well, something that I noticed when you said that, I like to pay attention. As you know, I'm not the fastest player, the one who's going to jump the highest, but I like to use small details to my advantage. But right here, you just pointed. You said five coaches to two players, right? So the attention to detail that Betis offers right now, that says a lot right now, right? Because
Yes.
I know teams that have one coach and five players, or one coach and 10 players, and I think it's just as an academy, right? We're not talking about individual workouts as far as like training separately in the U.S., right? We're talking about like hoop drills is, we're trying to at hoop drills, we're trying to blend in a little bit of my knowledge from European basketball, European academies, and our trainers' knowledge of U.S. basketball and skills and drills, and what you just said right now, that's a great point. We have five coaches to two kids. I mean, that just shows how much they invest in these kids, how much they invest in their future, right? So these prospects that we talk about uh, goes back to what I said, as 18, 19-year olds, when they come in, they're ready. They're ready to play, they're ready to produce, they're ready to give you whatever they have. Is it 1 minute, is it 30 minutes, or is it just 1 hour practice? But at 18, 19, when you get there, that means you're ready, and that's gonna make your life easier, the coach's life easier, your teammates' life easier, and your path to succeeding as a pro player is gonna be much easier because the foundation that was built on since they got to Betis, or they got to the academy. They built the players the right way.
But also the foundation depends on the how eager are these kids to learn. Because look, now we are under these conditions with the coronavirus, yeah, and they are at home, so they need to go on different platforms, on, yes, or like you are doing now with the countries. They can go on the they can use this home court app to go in the yard and just dribble the ball, do those drills. They can go on master class and see what Steph Curry can teach them in those lessons. They can use all kinds of apps like delay video, or I don't know, get on YouTube. They have they need to become students of the game, and this is what the coaches should tell them, should guide them to become. Of course, it's a lot. In the moment you are from a different country and you are going to Betis, and you are letting your family at home. You know that because you walked in these shoes, yeah.
Walking
And
those shoes, yeah.
yeah, so uh, you are doing such a big not effort, big, let's say, sacrifice. It's a sacrifice, right? Because you are getting out of your comfort zone. So you are not anymore the superstar of your team. Yes, in Romania, you are there. They are working with you like you are a very important project. This is the difference between, also because Betis and other big clubs, because the big clubs, they have more financial possibilities to rotate kids and to look for the next Luka Doncic. And while they are doing this, maybe some other good players or talented players with big potential, maybe they will be last on the transition of that. Betis is looking very careful because each kid means significant investment. So in this moment, to get back to your first question, yeah, they are looking to get their players with the potential to grow, to be, yeah, tall players, because this is what they are missing in this region of the Andalusia. But of course, they want to see or tall players or very talented ones. And we are looking on their potential. For example, our database starts from kids born in 2010. Yeah, so 10 years old. Yeah, it's not
Oh
it's not
wow.
it's not easy, but we are. Thank God we have also some former basketball players, very very tall with kids right now who are 9 or 10. So we are also in in contact with them. But yes, it's a long-term project. It's aiming to go for many years, so we can observe the market. We can observe the transition. You know very well that some kids are starting to play basketball when they're 8. Some of them will like it and they will continue. Some of them will not. Some of them will discover basketball a little bit later when they are 13, 14. And it's very important, in my opinion, to get in the Spanish system when you are 14 or 15 years old, so you can get that homegrown player status. Yeah, which
That's a big one. Can you explain exactly what a homegrown player means? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of the people are not exactly, you know, well
yes.
acquainted with what
So
that
you need
means.
to you need to have free junior 3 years playing in the junior competition in Spain between 14 and 18 years old.
Okay,
In
and
this
that
moment,
means that you play as a Spanish player at the end of
yeah.
uh,
Then,
the
so
games.
about the youth leagues right now, they are allowing four international players, 2 Europeans and maximum 2 non-Europeans, the junior teams. And while the ACB, yeah, the first team is allowing four homegrown players.
Okay,
So
so it's
you
a huge advantage for everybody that
yeah,
wants to play professional because it gives you a chance, regardless of your passport by birth, gives you a chance to basically acquire a Spanish passport and play
yeah,
as a Spanish player. You know, in the
we
ACB,
have
maybe Leboro, or there's I think all the leagues in Spain are actually pretty good. I've had friends that played Leboro, and it's a very competitive league.
We have two Romanian players at this moment with this homegrown player status. One is Emi Kace from Murcia, and Rade Schuță, who just returned to Cluj, but also he has the homegrown player status for the Spanish leagues. And yeah, this is very very important. Also, talking about the youth competitions in Betis, for example, they want the kids to play one category up, okay, than their age. So they will play at least two categories. For example, if you are 15, you can play under 16. Yeah, you can play under 18 and EBA. Yeah, the fourth
Okay.
division where
Yeah,
you are facing uh,
professional.
former professional players, older players with a very good, with a very good level. So they are trying to push the kids not to stay in their comfort zone, to see that they need to achieve more, to work harder, because it's not the same thing when in your country you are scoring 40,
No, that's a
60
big
points.
adjustment. That's a big adjustment you have to make as a player from any level. I've been a fan of it. As you know, depending on the level, it just depends on the role of your team too, like the role of the team gives you, right? So you have to be able to adjust that. If you really want to be a good pro and have a long career, I think you have to be able to adjust and play your role the best of your abilities, and that's really going to dictate or be dictated by your coach, by the team you sign with. And if you want to be a big fish in a small pond, then you really have to pay attention when you sign the contract, right?
Mhm.
If you want to just win and be a part of a winning organization, then you really, again, have to pay attention when you get the offers. And you might have to say no thank you to maybe two, three, and just wait until that opportunity, knocks on your door where you can actually win and play a role. Play your role, whatever is given to you by the coach. Sometimes it can be score 15, 20. Sometimes maybe you just need to to be a ball mover, be a screener, be there's a lot of things that can be done in the basketball court that can affect winning or losing the game. So I think growing players to that level, it's difficult these days because all we see is highlights of uh, isolation buckets. Let's say that. Let's put it that way. I think I mean, it is basketball is going that way, and I understand, but still, guys are very valuable. I think if you look at let's say Draymond Green, how valuable he is to Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. But honestly, how uh, what his value is without them, right? So it goes both ways. You try to make them your teammates more valuable, and in exchange they make you more valuable. And at the end of the day, that's gonna end up with more money in your bank account, right? And more trophies. Hopefully, more trophies, but definitely with more money in your bank account. So if you really want to be a good pro, I think that's what you have to study. You have to study what your role can be at a level and what you can do. But let's
But
go
you
to the
need
future
to
plans now.
also because we are talking about rookie players, and this they need to study the markets. When you are in college, okay, you can be with your head only for the NBA or go to the G League. But if you want to make a career in Europe, if you are considering overseas, you need to know what's going on here. You
Well,
need to.
it's not what you consider. You know how it is. It's not the plans that you make at home because a lot of times, like, oh yeah, let me try for the NBA. I go summer league. I'll do this, and I mean, I was in that boat, and something can happen. Something can go wrong. Like my year was the lockout, but it might just not happen, right? You might just not get drafted, not have a summer league, not have any opportunities. Like this summer coming up, right? We're looking at a summer without a summer league, most likely. We're looking at a summer without individual workouts, as the NBA teams, as of right now, from what I heard, there's not going to be any individual workouts. So coming out of college is going to be a tough choice. How long are you going to wait as a rookie to be? Hey, can I get that call? Am I going to get that call, or you know what? I'll take what's here. I'll take this European offer. But for that, you have to be ready, like you said, right? You have to do your due diligence. You have to ask your agent a ton of questions because that's the first resource you're going to have at this point. Ex players or players that have played overseas, and your agent. I'm thinking as a rookie. And then from there on, kind of expand that network so you get more and more knowledge. As we know, some teams pay late, some teams pay very late, and some teams pay on time, or uh, you have to be very careful, especially as a rookie. I think where that money is necessary. That's your first job, right? So some kids actually have families by that age and have to be very careful. And I think these young kids, especially coming from the U.S. colleges, they have to be very, very careful and do their due diligence as far as the teams and the market, and learn a lot about it, especially this summer. This summer is going to be crucial, as we all hope that everything going to be clear out and we're going to have a 2020-2021 season, right? So God knows right now, but let's hope for that. So I think that's huge. It's huge for the rookies to do their research.
Yeah, we are living crazy times, and definitely the future has a question mark in its shadow. But I believe that the market will change, financially wise too, and everybody will need, as we were talking at the very beginning, to show themselves in a good managerial situation, with a good um, with a sports business orientation, because otherwise sports will not be a priority for anybody if we are not uh, proving that we can be a cure, actually, because sports has been a cure for forever.
Yeah,
uh,
physical and mental cure. I was
for
looking at
sure.
what Mark Cuban said right now. He's like, in some ways, maybe the NBA should continue right now, and find a way to continue because people need something. They need something to cheer, something to bring them up a little bit. And mentally, I think a lot of people, need sports, but at the same time, they have to be sure that the athletes, health is not at risk. as you saw, overnight athletes got tested positive, and I'm sure there's a lot more cases around the world that would have been positive if leagues would not have stopped at the time that they stopped. So
And
I hope there's a way that these things will start up and soon, especially the NBA. As you know, the NBA usually kind of dictates world basketball.
for example, for EuroLeague, it's a little bit different because if you will ask the coaches and the players too, after such a big break, 2-3 weeks, you need another 2-3 weeks to get back into a proper
huge injury risk right now.
Yes. So it's not like now we can get out of our homes. Let's play
Let's go
basketball.
play.
Let's play playoffs. It's not like that. That's why I'm skeptic about our situation too. It's not like okay, on 17th of April they will say you are able to play sports. Or anyway, I'm more than sure that we will not be allowed to play with spectators if this will be. But we are far from that. My point was that the teams need time to get back in shape to avoid the risk of injuries, to be competitive, to produce the basketball everybody expects to see. And I don't know if the EuroLeague has time to do all this.
Any level is going to be very hard.
In NBA, maybe they will play in June and July. They will give the proper time to the players and to the clubs to get prepared, but it's not going to be easy for sure.
So I've taken a lot of your time. So now let's talk about the future plans for you. We've talked about a future for players, scouting, which is clearly a future or a part of your future right now. The scouter for Betis. What are your future plans now? Okay, there's some concern right now regarding basketball and regarding what's happening right now. But what are some of your future plans?
So one more thing about Betis is that I will. I discussed with them, and beside the scouting thing and trying to observe and then to recruit the players with talent, with potential for their academy, we want to organize an annual camp in Romania, and we want to set the bar high for any event like this ever been organized in our country, and why not in the Balkan area. So we are looking forward to get here 6 coaches from Betis and to come with their methodology and with their strategy to make a camp for 60-70 young players. From this, also players who are under our loop right now, but also players who want to learn something during the summer, who want to prove themselves. Why not? We will do this camp at the end of July. Hopefully, everything will be all right by then. Yeah, but about this and about many other things, because I'm now also involved together with some other companies outside of the sports industry and giving marketing consultants. I will present my projects and my future plans on a dedicated platform for my company, IG Hoops. So there I will talk about the things that I already did for my former clubs and for my partners. So in sports and not only, but for the future, I believe that I would like to guide more sports organizations into this sports business direction, and to add value to their relations with the community, with the fans, with the stakeholders, with the partners, and to become commercial products, because this is what we are missing in Romania. We are not getting the attention and the awareness on the national stage, because we are not doing the things in the right way. We are not interesting enough. So we need to work on the storytelling. We need to work on the on the marketing side, on the communication side. We need to get more into the digitalization. We need to link our sport, which is that is very it's global, it's exciting, it's easy to play. You just need one ball and the hoop, and that's it. You can start to work on the shoes of Michael Jordan. Yeah, and I'm focused to make plans and to make strategies. So for different sports organizations in Romania in basketball, and not only, but mostly in basketball, and help them to go. Help them to become 24/7 products. Because from the manager's side, from the sidelines, it's one thing we cannot control. We cannot control the scoreboard. We cannot control if guys like you will score the ball in the or not. We will not. We cannot control the final result. We cannot control the standings. What we can control is what we are doing in the other 6 days, and also, of course, in the day of the game, before the game, during the game, and after the game. How we are, how we can develop the connection we have with our fan base. How we can look for more prospects. Um, how we can not think only about the hardcore fans, the people who already know about basketball and they love basketball, but how we can get more people to watch basketball,
bring new fans, bring new fans,
to taste the product. But in order to do that, we must create quality content, and we must deliver it in the on the platforms and get visible. This will be very hard because we don't have a common direction. We are not all together into a plan for the next 3 or 4 years. But I will I will not wait for this to happen, because maybe I will wait forever. So I would love to try um, to help clubs who are interested to get the big picture. Um, pretty much this is it. I don't want to disclose many things right now, but I'm very happy for what we did in Sibiu. I'm so pissed off because we just had one game broadcasted in the cinema, one away game where the fans came to the cinema to watch us playing against Orada, and that was also one good marketing project we had, and a project
you just started correctly, right?
Sorry?
You just started this project, right?
Yes, and now now we cannot go to the cinema anymore.
Not for now. Hopefully soon we will. So
Hopefully
on the
soon.
ending note, where can someone find you? Instagram, Twitter, social media, all this stuff. Is there certain accounts you would like them to follow?
Yeah, I'm on IG Hoops, IG Hoop GM on Instagram. Ionut Georgescu, my name, on Facebook. IG Hoop GM also on Twitter, and definitely I will announce when the new website will be ready, and yeah, that is something that I'm really working hard, and what to say, thank God I have the time to do it.
Yeah, now is the time. Yeah. Well, I
Yeah,
thank you for your time, and I look forward to having you back on here at some point down the road when we're all healthy and things develop right. And I hope the new project takes on and starts off just as well as you plan it right now. Thank you, Ernest, for your time.
thank you, and I want to end by recommending to your listeners one book and one documentary. I am a big fan of that. You know that. And I recommend you because you also have the time to do it. So I'm reading right now Leading with the Heart by Coach K, a great book, helping giving the insights of Duke University system and everything, and also on ESPN Plus now the documentary about Dwayne Wade is it's online, so you
So
guys
check
can
those out
find
too
it.
then. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Thank
Okay.
you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. See you. Bye bye.